Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
Welcome to Maths TV. Today we'll be going through step-by-step revision of direct and inverse proportion, or you can say direct and inverse variation. So this will be two-part video in which part 1 we will be covering direct proportion or variation, in which we'll be going through detailed explanation and we'll be doing some questions as well. And the second part will be inverse proportion or inverse variation, and we will discuss in detail. So part 1 is starting with direct proportion. Now two quantities are directly proportional if they are always in same ratio. It means that they are varying directly or they are varying simultaneously. It means they are changing, they are increasing both values or they are decreasing same at same time. This can be written as proportionality statement, and proportionality statement is like, for example, P is proportional to L. We can read it as P is proportional to L, or there are different words they are using in question. You should understand from these words that this is direct variation question. They can use in question like P is proportional to L, or they can write P varies directly as L. So, or another word they can use, P varies as L. So these are three different wordings which you can identify from these wordings that this is direct variation question or direct proportion question. You can write this as an equation. We can write this as an equation. P is equal to KL, where K is constant of proportionality. The graph of proportional relation is always a straight line, and straight line is passing through the origin. So both the conditions will be satisfied. It will be a straight line and it will be passing through origin as well. And the gradient of the graph is equal to the constant of proportionality. So gradient of graph will be constant of proportionality. So if we write, I will write and explain this one. So in direct variation question, if x is directly proportional to y, we can write x is proportional to y like this, or x varies directly as y. We can write like this. Then we will have to change the sign of proportionality into equality. We will write x is equal to ky. X is equal to ky. K is constant of proportionality. To find the value of k, we can shift y to other side. So k will be equal to x over y. This is how we are finding the value of k. In this type of question, one set of values will be given, like for example x is equal to 1 and y is equal to, like for example, 5, and we have to use these values to find the value of k, and we will be replacing this one. For example, this one 1 over 5, x is 1 and y is 5, so k is equal to 1 over 5. This value of k we will be replacing in this equation. This equation we will be replacing, and our equation will become x is equal to 1 over 5y, and this equation we will be using for other values to be found. So now we will go to the sample questions. Now this is question 1, which we have taken as sample for explanation. The table shows values of quantities x and y if y is directly proportional to x. In this question they have directly given this statement, directly proportional to x. Find the relationship between x and y and fill in the, find the relationship between x and y means they are requiring equation between x and y, and fill the table. So two things we'll have to find. One thing, we have to find this relationship. It will be having separate marks, and we'll have to use that relationship to fill this table as well. So first of all, relationship x is directly proportional to y. It means x is directly proportional to y, and this implies x is equal to ky, and we can use this set of values which is provided. 3 and 15 is already given, so we can use this x is equal to 3 when y is equal to 15. So 3 is equal to k into 15. Now we can find value of k. K is equal to 3 over 15, which is equal to 1 by 5. So this value of k we can replace in this, and we can write here x is equal to 1 over 5 y. This is the relation which they are talking about. This one, find the relationship between x and y. This is the relationship which we found. So for this thing we got marks. Next task is to fill in the missing numbers. So we will be using these values. For example, x is equal to 6, we will be replacing in this equation. X is equal to 6, we will be using this and replacing here. So 6 is equal to 1 over 5y, and this implies y is equal to 6 into 5, which is 30. So this value will be 30. We will replace value over here. For x is equal to 8, we can use again that equation. X is equal to 8 means 8 will be equal to 1 over 5y. So this implies y is equal to 5 8s are 40. So we can write here 40, and this value will be filled in this table. Now I'll have to move page a little for next. So next is y value is given, which is 80. Y value is given 80, and we can use this y value in the same equation, which is now y is equal to 80. This value is given, and we will be replacing in x is equal to 1 over 5y. So x will be equal to 1 over 5 and y will be 80. This will be 80 divided by 5. We can use calculator. So this will be 80 divided by 5 will be equal to 16. So x value will be 16. We will write here in this table 16. Next y value is 120. So for y is equal to 120, again we'll be using the same equation. X is equal to 1 over 5 is equal to y. So x will be equal to 1 over 5 into 120, and using calculator we can find 120 divided by 5 will be equal to 24. So this answer will be 24. Now after filling this one, we have done both the wanted tasks in question 1, and in this way we'll get the maximum marks for this question. Now this is question number 2. The age of certain species of tree is directly proportional to the diameter of its trunk. So diameter, age is directly proportional to the diameter of the trunk. So age, if we are taking for example age as A and diameter as D, so this sentence we can mathematically write like this one: A is directly proportional to D. Then 4-year-old, so A, if A is equal to, if A is equal to 4-year-old tree has a trunk diameter of 12, so D is equal to 12 mm. So this is the information given. A part, find a relationship between the age and the trunk of diameter. So basically this is the equation they are looking for. So A will be equal to KD. Now we will be replacing these two values. So 4 is equal to K into D, which is 12. So K will be equal to 4 over 12, which is equal to 1 by 3. So our equation will be A is equal to K value is 1 by 3. So we'll replace in this 1 by 3 into D. Now this is the relationship which they are asking for part A. So this is basically A part. Up to this one we have done. Now B part we can write here. Find the age of a tree with a trunk diameter. Now diameter is given, we'll replace in this equation, which is A is equal to 1 by 3 into D. So age we have to find, and diameter is given as 276. So we'll replace this one. So 276 divided by 3 will be equal to 92. So this will be 92. This will be for part B. Now find the trunk. Find the trunk diameter of a tree 50 years old. So now age is given for part C. So we can solve part C, and the same equation A is equal to 1 by 3 into D, and A is given 50 years is equal to 1 by 3 into D. This implies D is equal to 50 into 3, which is equal to 150 years. So 150, no, basically this is the diameter, so 150 mm. 150 mm. This will be answer. So this one, B part will be 92 years, whereas this will be 150 mm. This is sample question which we have taken. The cost C of the building the roof of a house is proportional to the area A. So in mathematical language we can write C is directly proportional to A. It has to cover. So a roof costs this much. So cost C is equal to 6,000 pounds. So this will be in pounds, and covers an area. So A is equal to 36 meters square. A part, find the relationship between this and this. So C will be equal to KA, and this will be the relationship, and we will be using these values. So C will be 6,000 is equal to K into A will be 36, and we can find K is equal to 6,000 over 36, and using calculator 6,000 divided by 36 will give us 166.66, 166.67 we can write, and we can use this to find the relation. So C will be equal to 166.67 into A. So this will be our answer to A part. After getting answer to A part, we can check for B part. Find the cost of roof to cover an area of this one. So this same equation, this C is equal to 166.67 into A will be using for this one. Area is given 27, so 166.67 into 27, C will be equal to, we have this complete number, we will multiply this by 27, so this will give us 4,500. 4,500 will be pounds, so we can write it as pounds. Now C part, the roof costs this much. Now cost is given, and area we have to, covered area we have to find. So again, for C part, we will write the same equation. C is equal to 166.67 into A. Now cost is 7,500 pounds is equal to 166.67 into A. So this implies A will be equal to 7,500 divided by 166.67. So we can simplify 7,500 divided by 166.67. This will be equal to 44.99, 44.99, or we can write it as 45 meter square will be answer to this question. Sometime they are giving some other types of direct variations or direct proportion, which I have listed down. If A is directly proportional to the square of U, so in fact we will be writing like this: A is proportional to U square, because A is directly proportional to square of U. And the equation, if when we will change sign of proportionality into equality, the equation will become A is equal to K U square, and this is the equation which we will be using in that case. And then the second thing is, if a is directly proportional to the cube of u. So in case of cube, we will be writing a is proportional to u cube, and the equation will be a is equal to k u square. And sometimes they are giving in square root format if h is directly proportional to the square root of g. In that case, our equation will be h is directly proportional to square root of g, and the equation will become h is equal to k root of g. And this is how we'll be writing the equation and solving it. Now these are the graphs for direct variation. In case of graph, you should know that direct variation graphs are always passing through origin and they are straight line. So like for example, y is equal to 2x, this will be having gradient of 2 and this will be the straight line. Similarly, y is equal to 3x, gradient will be 3 and it will be the straight line passing through origin. So in case of direct variation, you will have to keep in mind that the graph is always passing through the origin and it is always a straight line. Hopefully you understood and enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe the channel and forward link to your friends and introduce this channel to your respected teachers as well. Thank you very much for watching. Take care. Bye.